right. Well, thank you again for joining us today. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to Brekke Tours and how we can help you plan a wonderful vacation to Scandinavia in 2025. My name is Amanda Hancock, and on behalf of Brekke Tours, we look forward to introducing you to our own favorite corner of the world, Scandinavia. Now, today I'm hoping to provide you with some information about Brekke Tours, why you may wish to visit Scandinavia, some different types of travel, and how we can help you make your travel plans a reality. For those of you wondering about our connection to Scandinavia, Brekke Tours was founded in 1956 when Arne Brekke, a student from Norway, worked his way through graduate school in America by conducting summer tours in Europe. We're a family-owned company located in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and we offer a wide variety of products and services, such as our own escorted tours, independent travel packages, customized tours for individuals, families, and groups, heritage travel, and cruises. Our goal here at Brekke Tours is simply to strengthen the cultural and ethnic ties between North America and Scandinavia by creating meaningful travel experiences. So why should you travel with Brekke Tours? First and foremost, we're a full-service Scandinavian specialist with over 65 years experience of travel within Scandinavia. We travel to our destinations and on our tours so we can assist our clients with their vacations. Our escorted tours feature destinations you won't find on other tours, and you won't find our tours anywhere else. Both our escorted tours and independent travel packages can be customized with side trips to visit areas of heritage. You can add a pre or post tour extension, or if we can't make that work, we can create a completely customized travel itinerary just for you. While on our escorted tours, you won't have to worry about additional expenses for tours or sightseeing activities. What you see on the itinerary is what is included. If you want to add a cruise or combine your trip with a visit to another country, it's not a problem. Our staff can help with these arrangements so that you only have one contact person for your entire vacation. And finally, when you travel with Brekke Tours, you can be sure that you'll be treated as a valued client, not just another body in a seat. Our goal is to make your travel experience meaningful, which means providing you with excellent customer service from the first phone call until you return home from your trip. Now, why do people want to visit Scandinavia? And there are many reasons, but I've summed up a few here. First and foremost is the natural beauty and phenomena. You have glaciers, fjords, mountains, forests, the midnight sun in the summer, the northern lights of the winter. All of these can be found in Scandinavia. Scandinavia also has a truly rich history filled with Vikings, kings and queens, wars, great wealth, hardship, and so much more. Now, the culture of Scandinavian countries are uniquely distinct, yet at the same time, they can be quite similar. Nature, family, education, and hard work are all highly valued by the folks living in Scandinavia. And most Scandinavians speak very good English, making it a very easy place to get around on your own. And speaking of which, the public transportation in Scandinavia is very good. With buses, trains, and low-cost flights to choose from, it's easy to get from point A to point B. And another reason is the food. You have fresh seafood, freshly baked bread, and fresh fruit. These are all commonly found pretty much everywhere you go. And finally, Scandinavia is a relatively safe destination. In fact, you may see babies sleeping in their strollers outside of shops and restaurants. Now, when it comes time to start planning your trip, one of the first considerations is how you should travel. There's escorted tours, independent travel, cruising, and customized travels. All of these offer different types of experiences which may impact your decision. So our first travel type is with a group on an escorted tour. Now, probably the number one reason to join an escorted tour is that it's a worry-free vacation. You can just sit back and relax. Someone else will do the driving and the luggage handling. And all of our escorted tours include transportation, first-class hotels, most meals, an array of activities and experiences. You'll also have a knowledgeable and professional guide along to enhance and enrich your vacation by providing cultural information about the country and the sites you are visiting, as well as handling all of the little details. An escorted tour is perfect for the seasoned traveler, as well as those that are traveling outside the US for the first time. You can also take advantage of group discounts, thus getting more for your travel budget. Sometimes the hardest part of traveling on an escorted tour is deciding which one is right for you and your family. And with that in mind, you may want to consider the following factors: the travel dates, as well as the length of the tour, what destinations you wish to visit, areas of interest, and of course, what you will do and see while you're on tour. So, just kind of to go over a few of our tours, in 2025, we have 15 different tour departures during June, July, and August. Now, our shortest tour is Splendor of Norway, which is 9 days, and our longest is Scenic and Historic, which is 14 days. And most of our tours are around 11 days. If you're wanting to visit a particular location, then you may want to refer back to this page in the recording a little later. In 2025, we have two multi-country tours, including Taste of Scandinavia and Captivating Scandinavia. And other areas that we often get requests for include Trondheim and Stavanger, southern Norway, as well as Lillehammer. Now, to help give you some ideas of tours based on interest, I've listed a few, but this is by no means a complete list. If you have something of an interest that you really want to make sure is included on a tour, I would recommend talking to one of our staff members. So, for the first time traveler, we recommend Best of Norway and Spectacular Norway tours. Both of these are 11 days. If you're short on time, our Splendor of Norway tour might be a better option. But if you want a tour that's a little bit more leisurely, but still want to include all of the highlights, then Norway's Fabulous Fjords is our recommendation. And Delightful Norway is another tour that you might want to consider for your first time trip to Norway. So all of these are great introductory tours and cover a variety of highlights. Now, if you've been to Norway before, or you're looking for a tour that visits some out of the way places, then majestic southern Norway might be a good option. If you have Norwegian roots in the Sogn, Vos, or Valdres regions of Norway, our heritage tour is a great way to reconnect to your heritage or an opportunity to introduce the next generation to Norway. Now, if you want to see it all, then Captivating Scandinavia, Taste of Scandinavia, or our Norway Scenic and Historic Tour might be right for you. And as you can see from this list, each of our tours offers some unique activities and experiences for our clients. So if you're looking for something a little special, such as a farm visit and dinner, then perhaps our Best of Norway, Fabulous Fjords, or Scenic and Historic tours might be of an interest. Or if you've dreamed of visiting some of Denmark's fairy tale castles, then you might want to look at Taste of Scandinavia or Captivating Scandinavia. If you can't find exactly what you're looking for, we're happy to suggest an independent pre or post tour extension to make your vacation truly unforgettable. So now that you know a little bit about Brekke Tours, we'll delve a little deeper into what you might see and experience while on a few of our 2025 escorted tours. And we'll start with one of our new tours for this year, and that's Delightful Norway. So this is a small group tour, and it features some of Norway's most scenic destinations. You will start in Norway's capital city of Oslo, then travel north through Lillehammer for a visit to the Kistefos Museum. It features two art galleries and an impressive sculpture park with 53 sculptures. From Lillehammer, you'll stop to admire the Geiranger Fjord before spending the night at the luxurious Alexandra Hotel in Loen. You'll then turn south and travel through Voss and Flam before driving through the Hardanger region to Ås. You'll spend 2 nights at the fjordside Solstrand Hotel and Resort. So this 10-day tour features some of Norway's most scenic destinations, all while traveling with a smaller group. is suitable for the first time visitor or someone just looking to return and visit some of Norway's highlights. And so this is a great tour for those of you that may like to also travel with a small group. So it offers a variety of highlights, and it's featured on some of our popular tours, but it does have the guarantee of traveling with a smaller group, which is nice if that's something that you might be interested in. Another new tour for 2025 features a special event taking place in Stavanger on July the 4th. In addition to this once-in-a-lifetime occasion, you'll also get to explore Norway's southern coast, which is dotted with the iconic whitewashed houses. Starting in Bergen, you'll travel to Voss, where you'll board the railway to Flum. You'll cruise the Ireland Fjord and Fjord to Gudvangen, and then drive to the Hardanger region, known for its lush apple, pear, and cherry orchards. You'll enjoy a night at the Ullensvang Hotel overlooking the fjord before traveling further south to Stavanger. Now, on the 4th of July, you'll have the chance to join in the celebrations of the 200th anniversary of the first organized immigrant journey from Norway to America. And to commemorate this event, the sloop Restoration will be departing at noon for New York. So it should be a pretty interesting event that we get to see this ship. And I got a picture of it here. So you'll get to see it depart out of Stavanger, kind of recreating that whole celebration, 200 years later. So after departing Stavanger, you'll travel along the southern coastline along the North Sea Highway to Kristiansand. You'll also visit the charming town of Grimstad before traveling north to the Telemark region. Here you'll tour the West Telemark Museum, the Industrial Museum where Nazis produced heavy water during World War II, and enjoy lunch at the Fairy Tale Dalen Hotel. Then it's on to Oslo, where the tour will end on July the 10th. So majestic southern Norway would be a great tour for those that have been to other areas of Norway, or if you want to join in for the celebrations on July 4th in Stavanger. Another tour for 2025 is our captivating Scandinavia. And so if you've looked at this tour in the past, we did make some changes to the itinerary and routing for this year. So it's a little different, but you'll travel through the capitals and countrysides on this 13-day tour through Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. It covers a lot of territory in a short amount of time. You will start in Stockholm, where you'll visit the impressive Vasa Ship Museum and the City Hall, which is the site of the annual Nobel Prize banquet. You'll travel by train through the Swedish countryside to Royal Copenhagen. From Copenhagen, you'll enjoy an overnight cruise to Oslo. You'll have a full day in Oslo to explore as many museums, walk along the harbor, and visit Akershus Fortress. From Oslo, you'll travel through the Hallingdal Valley and across the Hardangervidda to Voss. The next day, you'll experience the Norway in a nutshell adventure as you board the Flum Railway and ascend 2,800 feet within 13 miles to the fjordside village of Flum. Then you'll cruise the fjords to Gudvangen, and you'll return to Voss by motor coach before driving to Bergen. You'll actually get to experience the Hardanger region as well, where you will stop for a tour and lunch at a local fruit farm. And your tour will end in Bergen on July 27th. So Captivating Scandinavia is a wonderful tour for those that want to experience a little bit of Sweden and Denmark and Norway all in one trip. The last tour we'll be discussing today is pretty special, especially if you have heritage connections in the Sogn, Voss, or Valdres areas of Norway. This heritage tour will allow you to explore those routes all while traveling with our genealogist. You'll meet our genealogist in Oslo and travel with her through the Sogn, Voss, and Valdres areas to Bergen. Along the way, you'll have the opportunity to explore these areas and perhaps even reconnect with living relatives in Norway. Your 10-day tour starts in Oslo, and after a 2-night stay, you'll depart for Fagernes, where you'll get to visit the Valdres Folk Museum, one of the largest open-air museums in Norway. They have over 100 old buildings and is well known for their collection of bunads, the national costume of Norway. After a night in the mountains, you'll continue on to the fjord country. Here you'll visit the 12th century Halberstad Stave Church and the fjordside village of Underdal, which is known for its goat cheese. You'll then cruise the fjords, ride the Flum Railway, and visit the Voss Folk Museum before you arrive in Bergen. A special aspect of this tour is that time is allowed for visits to local family and or visits with local family, or to visit family heritage sites. Our genealogist will also help with research before and during the tour. With access to the Big the Book collection at UND, she's a great asset when trying to find your roots in Norway. In addition to traveling with the genealogist through Norway, you'll also have the chance to discuss and research your family history before traveling to Norway in the hopes of finding more information about your ancestors, potential living relations, and areas important to your family's history. Now, for time's sake, I didn't cover all of the details of these tours. If you'd like to read the day-to-day itineraries or see all the activities and visits included in each tour, I would recommend that you visit our website and check out the tours that are most of interest to you. While you're there, you can check out the other tours for 2025, and we have quite a few that I didn't talk about today. And as always, if you have questions or want to discuss one of these tours with our staff members, reach out to us. We're happy to answer questions, offer advice based on our own travel experience, or if you need help customizing a tour to suit your needs, we can do that too. Now, the next type of travel is independent travel, and some of the independent travel options that we offer include pre and post tour extension packages, fjord tours, self-drive tours, and winter travel. The greatest advantage to traveling independently is the freedom to explore and travel at your own pace. Whether you prefer to linger in an art museum or choose to try and see and do as much as you can while overseas, independent travel gives you added flexibility. You can also choose travel dates that suit your schedule best. You also have the option to include the experiences that are meaningful to you. You can visit family heritage sites, take your picture from the top of Pulpit Rock, or wander through the historic streets of Bergen. It's your choice. Traveling independently is suitable for those who are comfortable traveling alone, may have limited time, or wish to stay in one place and explore the surrounding area. Now, if you're a little hesitant about putting your driving skills to the test overseas, not to worry. Public transportation is readily available between most cities within Scandinavia. However, if you need flexibility or wish to enjoy the countryside, renting a car is an excellent option. Now, one drawback to an independent package is that it may appear to be less expensive, but costs can quickly mount when adding food, transfers, and activities. So some of the things to consider when planning independent travel is that, of course, you need to get from point A to point B. So traveling on your own means that you have to deal with the unexpected as well. If this is something you wish to avoid, you may want to choose an alternative travel option. Sticking with your budget is another factor when planning your independent vacation. Costs can quickly balloon out of control if you aren't careful. Now, planning a large itinerary can be difficult, especially if you're unfamiliar with the locations or different options, and it's here that we can help. So we can actually take the headache out of planning with one of our pre-planned independent travel packages, such as our pre and post-tour escorted tour extensions, the always popular Norway in a Nutshell, Grand Tour of Norway, Nordic Delight, which is it's an independent travel package that features the Scandinavian capitals of Oslo, Copenhagen, and Stockholm. And now Iceland has become a frequently requested destination. And so whether you choose to visit during the summer or winter, we can help you with that. And the nice thing about all of these packages is that the planning has already been done and these itineraries are tried and true. Now, if you'd like to spend a little bit more time in Scandinavia to visit with local family or friends and you're on an escorted tour, that's not a problem. Simply ask us to add an independent pre or post tour extension. So we have several that are already available and they're already pre-planned. So if you want to travel from Bergen to Trondheim with Hurtigruten, or you want to venture through the Swedish countryside by train from Stockholm to Oslo, not to worry, we already have these all planned out. If you're traveling on one of our group flights with Iceland Air, our ever popular Reykjavik and South Shore extension is a great way to break up the long flight between the US and Scandinavia. If you can't find exactly what you're looking for, we can work with you to create a customized package to any of the Scandinavian countries, Faroe Islands, and beyond. Now, one of our most popular independent tours is our Norway in a Nutshell package. And this can be done as a 3, 6, or 7-day package. You can choose to travel a round trip from Bergen, from Oslo to Bergen, or vice versa. Highlights of this tour include the train trip between Oslo and Flum, a ride on the famous Flum Railway. You'll descend 2,800 feet within 13 miles as you travel down the valley through 20 tunnels and past thundering waterfalls. From Flum, you'll cruise the Ireland Fjord and the Narrow Fjord, which is on the UNESCO World Heritage List. The Narrow Fjord, or Narrow Fjord, is dotted with mountainside farms, waterfalls, and snow-capped mountains. Now, after you arrive in Gudvangen, you'll travel by bus to the Stalheim Hotel. Here you can hop out and walk through the hotel for a fantastic view of the valley below from their terrace. Then you'll continue on to Voss, where you'll once again board the train for a ride to Norway's second largest city, Bergen. With thousands of people enjoying some variation of the Norway in a Nutshell trip each year, this is a great introductory trip for the first-time independent traveler. Now, another one of our popular pre-planned independent packages is our Grand Tour of Norway. So if you have a little bit more time and you want some additional flexibility while traveling, then the Grand Tour of Norway is an excellent option. This is a 12-day self-drive tour, and it starts in Bergen. You'll then travel through Flum, where you can experience the Norway in a nutshell. And you'll continue north to Geiranger, where you'll get the opportunity to cruise this famous fjord as well. You'll then drive on the Troll Road and the Atlantic Ocean Road, both of which are amazing drives with lots of opportunities along the way to stop and take pictures. You'll spend the night on Halholmen Island, which is only accessible by boat. And then from Halholmen, you'll continue north to Trondheim before you start making your way south through the Olympic city of Lillehammer and then finally Oslo. Now, this is probably one of my personal favorite itineraries for Norway. It's got a little bit of everything, including the Flum Railway, 2 fjord cruises, you have thrilling drives, and some unique destinations. You'll have a nice mix of time in the cities as well as in the countryside, and it includes a variety of Norway's best features. And traveling by car gives you the ultimate flexibility to stop where and when you want and visit the sites that interest you. And quickly, I'm just going to talk about our Around Iceland self-drive tour. You'll explore Iceland's Ring Road. Here you'll find national parks, beautiful waterfalls, striking glaciers, and more. You'll start in Reykjavik, where you'll collect your rental car at the airport and then set out for the infamous Golden Circle tour. You'll see Gullfoss Waterfall, Geyser, and Thingvellir National Park. Then it's time to head north to Lake Mývatn. Here you can spend some time exploring the Diamond Circle, take a whale-watching cruise from Husavik, or relax at some of the nature baths found here. After a few nights in North Iceland, you'll spend a night in the East Fjords before traveling along the south coast of Iceland to Reykjavik. And if you're one of those save the best for last kind of people, you won't be disappointed with the south coast of Iceland. Here you'll find an abundance of natural wonders, including a diamond beach, a glacier lagoon, black sand beaches, towering waterfalls that you can walk behind, and so much more. And really, it seems like every bend in the road brings a new landscape into focus. So our next type of travel is cruising. And so cruising along the coast of Norway is a great way to meet a variety of people from all over the world, including local Norwegians, all while relaxing in style on board your ship. Now there's 2 cruise lines I'll be discussing today, and that's Hurtigruten and Havila. Cruises, like escorted tours, have the advantage of being easy to plan since all the hard work has already been done. Schedules and destinations are already mapped out. You just have to choose the itinerary you like best. Now, the coastal voyages of Norway have the distinction of taking you to places that you may not be able to get to easily on your own. The Lofoten Islands and the North Cape in northern Norway are two prime examples. Now, as a floating hotel, you only have to unpack once while on board. And for anyone that detests packing as much as I do, this is a huge advantage over other forms of travel. Cruising along the coast of Norway with either Hurtigruten or Havila allows for a truly relaxing vacation. Since neither of these cruise lines are like your typical Royal Caribbean or Princess Cruise, there's no scheduled entertainment on board. Nature is the focus of these cruises, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to relax in the lounges with a good book, chat with your fellow travelers, or simply enjoy the landscapes as you sail past. Both Hurtigruten and Havila offer a wide variety of interesting, fun, thrilling, and scenic shore excursions. From snowmobiling to hunt the northern lights in the winter to learning more about the Sami culture, your time on shore will be as rewarding as your time on board the ship. Now, one of the last aspects of cruising is getting to sample some of the local cuisines across different parts of Norway. Local cheeses, fresh seafood, and locally inspired baked goods are sure to tempt everyone's palate. And for anyone wanting to see the Northern Lights, a Norwegian coastal cruise is a wonderful option. You'll spend several nights above the Arctic Circle, which greatly raises your chances of seeing this natural phenomenon. So, to talk a little bit about Hurtigruten cruises, they've been sailing along the coast since 1893, so they've been around for a while. Today, they offer a variety of cruises, including their 12-day round-trip voyage that starts in either Bergen or Kirkenes. They have a 7-day northbound voyage from Bergen to Kirkenes, or their 6-day southbound voyage from Kirkenes to Bergen. You can also choose to take just a portion of the cruise, Bergen to Trondheim, for instance, and these are called port-to-ports and can be easily added to land package for a chance to see even more of Norway. Now, if you're wanting a different kind of adventure, you may want to look into their Svalbard or North Cape lines. Both of these cruises offer unique destinations and a different sailing schedule than their coastal voyages. Now, Havila Voyages is somewhat new to the Norwegian coastal voyage route. They first set sail back in December of 2021, and they have since become a favorite among clients. With Since they have newer ship, but they still have that time-honored hospitality, and it's easy to see why. They sail along the coast on the opposite days that Hurtigruten does, and they also offer the same sailing options. So if Hurtigruten is sailing one day, then Havila might be sailing the next day, and vice versa. So they work in tandem. And finally, the last type of travel that we're going to talk about today is customized travel. So if you're the type of traveler that can't find exactly what they want, then perhaps a customized itinerary is the answer. Now, planning a trip on your own can be overwhelming if you're not familiar with the area. Not to mention coordinating activities and transportation for a group of people, it can be a little much. So it's here the Brekke Tours can help. We can help you with creating the perfect itinerary for you and your family, group, or organization. We can make recommendations, arrange activities, transportation, as well as provide tour directors or local guides to enhance your vacation and take the stress out of planning. Now, whether you're traveling on your own or plan to bring your family members along or even your local church group, we can help make your trip truly unforgettable. Your tailor-made tour is based on your interests, areas of heritage, budget, and any other factors you may have. Some groups that we have worked with include church groups, museums, the U.S. Lighthouse Association, choirs and bands in both the U.S. and Norway, dancers, World War II themed tours, architecture, quilting, art and music, agricultural tours, and more. So we can include as little or as much help as you need, including airfare, ground transportation, sightseeing tours with local guides, activities, hotels, and more. And because we can combine travel styles to create your one-of-a-kind tour, if you enjoy cruising but want to experience the Norway in a nutshell option, it's not a problem. So that's really the nice option about customized travel is that you can kind of combine what styles you like best. So, to talk a little bit about the customized travel planning process, to get started, we'll ask you to complete and return a customized travel request form. Your travel professional will then use this information to make recommendations and create a proposal. You'll receive an itinerary proposal for your review for changes and approval. Once approved, the itinerary is submitted for estimated pricing, and sometimes this process can take a few back and forths as we work to craft your ideal itinerary that meets your requirements. Once you accept the proposal and the price, we will then request that all services be confirmed. Now, once your travel services are confirmed, your travel advisor will tell you the final package price, identify any changes that were made during the booking process, and if needed, provides you with an updated quote for additional services not yet booked, such as airfare, car rentals, that kind of thing. And then from there, we move on to collecting your deposits, and then your final payment is due 90 days prior to departure. So, for your travel documents, a couple of weeks before you depart, you'll receive your travel documents with a detailed itinerary, any necessary vouchers, and any other information that you may need. So, when it comes time to start planning your trip, one of the first considerations, I'm sorry, so to get started, we're just gonna, how do you get started? And the first thing is, of course, online. So, visiting our website, it provides you a great place to do some research, and you'll get details on our 2025 escorted tours, some independent travel options, as well as details on the Norwegian coastal voyage with Hurtigruten. You can also book a tour, make your deposit, or download a customized travel request form. You'll also find our 2025 brochure on our website. You can download a copy to start reviewing right away, or if you prefer a paper copy, you can submit a request and we'll pop one in the mail to you. You'll also find a copy of our 2026 preliminary tour dates if you want to start planning really far ahead. And so this is actually on our brochure page on our website as well as on the back of our brochure. Another way to get started is to email us or call us. So if you prefer to talk to a person, we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have by email or by phone. So before I open up the chat for any additional questions, I'll answer some of the questions submitted on the registration form. And we'll start out with, are flights available from other cities? And so if you do live outside the Minneapolis area and wish to join one of our tours, not to worry, we're happy to provide you with a flight option from your home city, whether you live on the East Coast, Canada, or even Alaska. To request a quote, just simply contact our office. And the next question is, can I add days to a tour? So if you'd like to spend a little bit more time in Scandinavia or like to take a day out of the itinerary to visit family heritage sites, our staff is more than happy to help you with these plans. From adding an extra hotel night to booking an extended stay in Norway or figuring out how to get you from point A to point B and back again, that's what we're all about. So we'll have free time while on escorted tours. So all of our tours do include a bit of free time so that you have the opportunity to pursue your own interests while in Scandinavia. Many people take this time to explore art museums, go shopping, visit with friends, or with relatives in the area. If you need additional time for a particular visit, we can make those arrangements with you prior to departing the US. And if you need recommendations for what to see or do, your tour director or local guide are excellent resources. We can also offer some advice prior to departing the US. And what clothing should I pack? This is probably our number one question, so we always tell people to bring clothing that you can layer. Casual clothing is the norm for our escorted tours, and you'll want to bring a good pair of walking shoes. You'll also want to bring a jacket and perhaps a raincoat. Other things you may want to pack include an umbrella or poncho, snacks, medications, including over-the-counter medication like aspirin, sunscreen, and a small day pack where you can store sweaters, a water bottle, and your snacks. And what documents do I need? So you will need a valid passport book to travel to Scandinavia. So you'll want to make sure that your passport is valid for at least 6 months past your return date. And we've also had some questions about the EES program for Europe. And so the start date for 2025 hasn't been announced yet. So at this time, there's really no need to submit an application. Once more information is released to the public, we'll advise our clients and provide guidance on how to proceed. Physical requirements for escorted tours. So a typical day on an escorted tour will have 2 to 3 hours of walking, but it's broken up over the day. So at some stops, you may only have a 5-minute walk, and on others, it may be 10 to 15. So for those with mobility issues, you always have the option to opt out of whatever that activity is. Wheelchairs and motorized scooters are not really suitable for our tours. How are single travelers accommodated? So, if you're traveling solo on one of our escorted tours, you have a couple of options. First, you can request a single room for a supplement, or if you're open to sharing your room with another traveler, provided that there's another single traveler of the same gender that also wishes to share a room, we'll put you two in contact with each other before the tour departs to make sure that you will both enjoy your trip. Exchanging money. Should I exchange money before departing? So, with the exception of Finland, who uses the euro, kroner is the currency used within each country in Scandinavia, and they are not interchangeable. So, if you're planning on travel to Norway, you can obtain Norwegian kroner at your arrival airport, either by exchanging US dollars or simply withdrawing an equivalent amount of kroner from an ATM. You can check current exchange rates at owanda.com, so this website here. And most places in Scandinavia will accept major credit cards such as Visa and MasterCard. In fact, some vendors won't even accept cash anymore, so it's a good idea to have a credit card or two along when you're traveling. How do you handle food allergies? So, if you're traveling with us on an escorted tour, breakfast at the hotel is included in each morning. And this will be a buffet style breakfast with a variety of options available. Dinner at the hotel is usually a buffet as well, but we do ask all of our clients to advise of any food allergies or aversions so that we can offer substitutes when there is a fixed menu planned. Hotels and restaurants are happy to offer other selections as long as they're notified ahead of time before our groups arrive. And will I need a special plug for my devices? So Scandinavia, like most of the world, runs on 220 volt, while the US runs on 110. So if your device is dual voltage, all you will need is a plug adapter. So it's this one right here. It just changes the type of plug. However, if your device only runs on 110, you'll need a converter, which is a larger device and typically costs around $25 to $35. An adapter will only cost around 5. So you'll want to check and see if your device is dual voltage or not. And driving in Scandinavia, what do I need? So for those of you that are wishing to set off on your own on a self-drive tour, you are in luck. Driving in Scandinavia is relatively easy to get around with good roads and highways. You do not need an international driver's license to drive in any of the Nordic countries. You also don't need a visa to travel in Scandinavia. All you need is your passport. All right, so now I'm going to open it up for any questions that you may have. And so in the bottom right-hand box, you can type your questions here, and I will do my best to answer them. And in case you are looking for our contact information, I went ahead and left it up on the screen. So um, yeah, so please feel free to send me those chat questions. Hopefully it's working. I'm not getting any questions. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix the little thing to make sure the chat is, oh, okay. Um, okay, here we go. Hopefully the chat is enabled now. So Sorry, for some reason I'm having a little technical difficulty on that. So please feel free to send in your questions. So, and it might be that you might have to tab over to the questions tab if you can see that. I apologize. I've not had this issue before, so if for some reason I can't get it to work or it doesn't work for you, um, I apologize. Let's see. I don't know why it is not working. I am terribly sorry, everybody. Okay. So if you do have a question that you think of later, please send us an email. I am sorry. I don't know why the chat is not working today. Normally it works just fine. If you did have a specific question that that you submitted on the registration form that I didn't answer, because some of you I know had some things that were really specific, we will be reaching out to you directly with those answers, so not to worry about that. I do apologize if the chat function is not working today. Again, I don't know. It shows on my end that it's on. I apologize greatly. So anyway, I will go ahead and end the presentation a little bit early today. I apologize that the chat wasn't working, that we couldn't get those questions answered for you right away. Um, but please reach out to us with your questions and we'll be happy to email you with answers to those. And so I'm going to leave you guys today, leave overlooking Flum. So this is kind of the home of Brekke Tours where it all started. Thank you again for joining us this afternoon. I hope you all have a wonderful day and hope we can introduce you to Scandinavia this summer. Thank you so much.